Premier League is off and underway for another season. 10 months of thrills and spills, no doubt await us.
Beckham. Oh, Solskjaer with a chance, which is taken quite beautifully.
Frank Lampard nipped it.
Solskjaer to his left and onside. 2-2.
Lampard against Tim Howard, and he scored.
Here's Giggs. Oh, he's given the goal to Solskjaer. It's 3-0.
I feel we're on the right track. I feel I have a better squad and a better team and a better foundation now for us to this season improve.
Pereira's in the middle. Rashford going on his own. Still Rashford. Great run! Great goal! That's brilliant!
Yes, the season starts here, and what a match we kick off the new Premier League campaign with. Chelsea, the West Londoners, visit Old Trafford. It's one of the biggest fixtures in the British game. Frank Lampard brings Chelsea to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United. Both players legendary players for their team, now managers of their respective clubs, and with a hell of a lot of optimism going into the new campaign. With me, pitchside here at Old Trafford, Ben Thornley. Ben, we cannot wait for the big kickoff. We've seen a fantastic pre-season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his side. Now let's carry that on to the Premier League.
Yeah, they must have the confidence and the momentum coming into a massive fixture, as you've already stated, Sully. You know, they don't often get thrown up on the opening day fixtures of this magnitude, but Manchester United against Chelsea, it's always mouth-watering, and two managers that are going to play attacking football. Yeah,
we know that for sure. A new season, a new programme as well, which has a fantastic image on the front, a fisheye lens shot from above the dressing room there, all the squad numbers on there, including our three new signings, of course. Number 5, Harry Maguire. Number 29, Wan-Bissaka. Number 21, Daniel James. Do you expect to see maybe all of them in the starting lineup today?
I would imagine that Harry Maguire is going to start. I know that he's only been with the club, you know, just over a week, but somebody like him, we need in straight away. Wan-Bissaka, yes, I think he will start too. Whether he will start Daniel James, maybe he can be a bit of a potent weapon coming off the bench with his pace when when the Chelsea defenders are getting a bit leggy.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a man obviously tasked with picking that starting 11. He faced the press in the build-up to this game, and one of the questions he was asked was all about our new number 5, Harry Maguire.
Ole, you've got about half a dozen senior central defenders in the squad. Does it frustrate you or disappoint you that you've had to spend so much money on getting another one in?
I'm delighted that we got Harry in. He's going to be great for this club. He was my number 1 target there, and of course it took some time, but that sometimes it does take time. I more or less made my mind up when we played Leicester last season, that if it's possible to get him, we should get him. We should try to get him because he's so composed on the ball. It gives the team another dimension.
Do you see Harry as sort of player who's going to give the whole team, the fans, a big lift, seeing that big centre half on right on there?
Yeah, he's already come in and shown what the presence he will be and what impact he'll have in the squad. He's a leader. He's established international. He's a goal threat, he's a very, very good defender, but also a very composed ball player that give us a different dimension. Sorry.
Not many people probably realistically believe United can win the title or challenge. It's now 6 years since Sir Alex left. Is the club still recovering from Sir Alex's departure? 6 years on, do you think?
Well, we haven't won the league and we haven't challenged properly these 6 years. So of course it's not where we want to be, and I feel we're on the right track. I feel I have a better squad and a better team and a better foundation now for us to this season improve and take that first step, because it will take time, as I've said a few times before the summer.
Is it a bit weird, do you think, for United not to be considered in that sort of?
It's been normal for me when I've been at the club that we've been mentioned in the team that should win the league and challenge for the league. Let's just make sure that we that are inside, that we are part of Man United now, that we surprise a few people.
Ollie, at the end of the season, Ollie, you were making it clear that you hadn't got the time between coming in and the end of the season to implement what you wanted to see on the pitch, your style, a DNA, if you like.
Yep.
Are we going to see this against Chelsea? The new Manchester United, in fact, your Manchester United, the way that you want to play?
Well, I'd like to think that you'd see what kind of team we want to be, the intent, the team we want to be. Of course, we've had 6 weeks now, and 6 weeks is a long time, but it's not going to be functioning perfectly straight away, of course. But pre-season has been really good. This squad has been part of that pre-season. It's been performances that have been very promising. And of course, we've added Harry to that team, so hopefully, I think you should see the how do you call it in English? The signs of the team that I would want to be in, say, 12 months. But of course, it's step by step, and I think now we've made good stride this pre-season.
Yeah, so Harry Maguire, a world record fee for a defender, a player we first met back in 2011 when we faced the Blades of Sheffield United in the FA Youth Cup final. He did really well then, Maguire, and since that time he's gone on. His career is really fast-tracked to put him amongst the elite defenders in the Premier League, and he's shown not only for Leicester City but for England too what a talented player he is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's nothing that Harry Maguire can do about a price tag. That is football at the moment, and you are going to have to pay, you know, top whack for the best players, and he is undoubtedly one of those. And this is something here you can see on your screen that we're looking for him to do today. I know he's amazing run gone all the way through, but carrying the ball out of defence like that, it's a brilliant weapon to have when you've got somebody who's got the temperament and he's comfortable on the ball to be able to make strides into the midfield and open the game up, and he can definitely do that. And he's got talent, there's no question about it, but he's also got the temperament, and you do need that to succeed here at Manchester United.
Well, Ole mentioned just then in his press conference, didn't he, the word composure. And he has got that in abundance. He is so composed on the ball and reads the game so well, intercepts opponent's possession. He's really clever in his defending.
He is very, very clever. His reading of the game, as you say, Sully, is superb. He doesn't seem to get phased. He doesn't get overawed by any occasion or by any potential opponent. He always feels as though he can get the better of him, and obviously keeping goals out is his forte. We saw him excel at Leicester, and he's earned the right to come and play for one of the big clubs, and we're so lucky that it's us.
Yeah, he can score at the other end, as he's shown against us in the past too. But last season we kept 7 clean sheets in the Premier League, 7 clean sheets. Only Huddersfield and Fulham, who both got relegated, had fewer. And he's going to help address that problem. So too Wan-Bissaka. Yeah,
and we also conceded more goals than Newcastle did in the second half of the season. It's something that does need addressing. But when the Manchester United back five with David De Gea obviously lines up today, you will see a fairly awesome defence and a defence that is going to, you know, people are going to have to play really, really well against to breach. They look solid from right to left, and obviously with David in behind them.
Yeah, now let's have a look at the pre-season form. Chelsea's was a bit of a mixed bag, but for us, it was a perfect pre-season. Take a look at this.
Manchester United have touched down in Australia. The first 2 of their 6 pre-season games take place here in Perth.
Seeing them literally this close, the dream come true.
The Wacker is now where United are going to train over the next 10 days or so.
When you travel away like this, they're with each other all the time, and it's a big team bonding period as well.
things are becoming more clear to me on what the manager wants and how we're to do it on the pitch. So, you know, like you said, it'll put us in good stead for the rest of the season.
Hello and welcome to the Wacker here in Perth for Manchester United's open training session.
So it's the A-League premiers against the 20 times champions of England.
Rashford on the turn. What a finish by Rashford. Given away again. There was a slip there and two. Well, what a terrific drive that was from James Garner.
Now joins their right back.
I'm scared of snakes. What are you scared of?
I really don't like snakes.
Yeah, insects, snakes. Oh no, heights and rats. I hate rats.
Are you okay?
Tell us what we're going to do. So we're going to do 2 drills. So both these drills are stuff that players will do.
Yep, off you go. Good, 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 good.
We're going to have a lie down. See you there.
An old rivalry rekindled. Here comes the Frenchman, finds the corner. Manchester United in rampant pre-season form. They've got 4 against Leeds.
From the west coast of Australia to the more intense climates of Southeast Asia, things are hotting up for United.
Needed a wheel change, that's what happened there.
It's nice to be here on the stadium in front of these people, so we are very excited how tomorrow is going to be.
Well, it was a cross shot in the end. It might actually work out. Can United get it towards goal? Oh, what a hit! Oh, fabulous! Mason Greenwood, he's a natural.
Shanghai, the most populous city on the planet, and it's our home for the next few days as we build up to that match against Tottenham Hotspur. We mentioned the heat and the humidity, so Wes, if you pick one up, let's see. See how that. Yeah, that's gone.
2 teams who will surely be in the heat of the top 4 battle. Driving run. Gets it back, Gomez. Rashford waits in the centre. Oh, brilliant! Oh, what a finish! Perfection in pre-season for Manchester United. Two friendlies to go to fine-tune and to get ready for a 9-month journey to win it for United. Mata wins it! To Cardiff next, but they've beaten Christiansen by a goal to 0. Well, it's the final rehearsal, their 6th and last pre-season test. Rashford going on his own, still Rashford, great run, great goal! That's brilliant! Explosive! Marcus Rashford. Daniel James wins it for United. It was written, wasn't it? The Welshman scores the winner for United in Cardiff, and they end pre-season unbeaten.
Yeah, it was a terrific season, pre-season for Manchester United. We went to Australia, to Singapore, Shanghai, Norway, and then into Cardiff to finish things off, where there was a lovely moment with Daniel James getting that winning penalty in front of his home crowd and just rounded things off perfectly.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And I was there, and I was really pleased for him because, you know, at some stage during the season, he might find himself in that position where it actually does really count. But it was great for him to score in front of his own fans. I just thought maybe there was a little bit of lethargy had crept in from the tiring pre-season schedule, but that'll all be out of the system now. I think that these lads will be absolutely raring to go in a couple of hours' time. Yeah, we've heard from Ole plenty of times about the fitness of this squad. He mentions it in his programme notes as well, that a more robust pre-season has got the team more ready for the rigours of a gruelling Premier League season, and we hopefully will see evidence of that today in the way Ole wants his team to play. Well, I think in every game that we saw on the tour, Sully, there was evidence that the fitness work had been paying off. It was no secret Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made that he didn't think the team were fit enough last year. He wanted to get a good pre-season under his belt with all the lads. He's had very, very few injury worries as well, which goes a hell of a long way. And they have shown that not only have they got good results and the skill factor was high, but they were also fit, and they won the ball back very, very quickly when they lost it. So too will Chelsea be, though. They'll be fit. We've just seen them having a stroll around the pitch. We saw Wes Brown, who's going to join us very shortly, chatting with Marcus Alonso, a very talented Chelsea player. And yes, they've lost Eden Hazard, but just looking at the calibre of players that are walking out onto the pitch, they've got some terrific players, have Chelsea. This will be a tough game. Yeah, without any question, it will be. Yes, they have lost their talisman and arguably the best player that the Premier League's had for the last couple of seasons in Eden Hazard. But the likes of Willian, the likes of Pedro, and they've got players all over the pitch that can cause you problems. There's no two ways about it. And yeah, they haven't managed to replace him, but Pulisic has come back in from being on loan at Dortmund. He's a very exciting player who I expect to start as well today. It's going to be a tough game, and like I said at the start, these two managers will go all out to win this game. Frank Lampard scored a bundle of goals for Chelsea. The record goal scorer was also a very fit lad, box to box, where he got a lot of his goals running through midfield, and it's got the makings of a really, really entertaining game. Yeah, they've not been too busy in the transfer market because they're transfer banned, but some of the young players we saw walk out, like Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, they've got some young players hungry to get into that first team, just like we have at Manchester United. One of them is Axel Tuanzebe, and Stuart Gardner caught up with him in the build-up to this one.
Axel, first of all, it's been, 5-6 weeks of pre-season, so how do you feel ready now for the real thing?
Yeah, I think the team performances over the last 6 games have been very good. Came out some good results, so let's carry on into the season.
Obviously, over the summer you signed a new deal here at United as well. How good was it to put pen to paper and see that the faith that the club have got?
Yeah, it's good. It's all part of the journey. It plays a part into my aims and ambitions for the season, and it just shows that the club are willing to put a trust in me, put faith in me to continue and progress. You mentioned your aims and ambitions for the season. What are those? To be playing regularly at Manchester United, it's very, very possible this season. I think the manager has shown faith in me in the pre-season games. I think he has a lot of confidence in young players, and the club's going through a phase of change and rebuilding a solid structure. So, this will be a great opportunity to grasp and get regular minutes at the club. What has the manager's message been to you? Because as you mentioned there, a lot of young players were given opportunities to impress over the summer. Just, all the right things about keep on working hard. You can't slip up, because anytime you slip up, there'll be someone there to take your place. And it's a big club. It's always an honour and privilege to play for this club. So it shouldn't be taken lightly, and to bring it back to its winning ways and winning mentality. So to have a group of players that can embed that again into the club and then pass it on to later generations will be the mission. Does your success of last year, the great season you had at Villa, does it make you think it's now the perfect time for you to kick on? Yeah, exactly. I think finishing off on a trophy kind of puts me on good stead for this season. Take that momentum into the season. Obviously, you've played it. I think 8 times you've played with the first team, but it's been a while because of your loan. So how hungry are you to actually get the shirt on again? Most definitely. Most definitely. Manchester's my home, and so playing at Old Trafford with all my friends and family being close by to see the games, that's all you kind of wish for, really. And here's a real opportunity to do so.
Naturally, after you did so well last year, there was speculation about you possibly going out on loan again. Has that ever been a thought in your mind?
There's always different pathways, but we had an in-house meeting, the manager, the coaching staff, and we decided it was best for me to stay here and continue my development here. Again, I've always wanted to play for Man United, so I think, especially this time round, is a good time to stay and fight, because I think the manager's really looking to introduce new energy to the squad, so it was the perfect opportunity to take.
Must be nice to get that message, though, rather than, you might not be part of the plans. Clearly, you are part of the plans.
Yeah, it's just comforting to know that I have a role here, and it's up to me then to kind of fill them boots and show everyone what I've got.
Yeah, he's right there, Axel. It's up to him, isn't it? Because as a young player at Manchester United, if you're good enough, you'll get a chance. And Ole has shown that many, many times already as Manchester United manager.
Yeah, they will get their opportunities. There's no question. All the lads that went on the tour, and Axel Tuanzebe, arguably, in front of some of the others because of the season that he had with Aston Villa. He's had a lot of experience playing with Villa, who obviously helped him get him promoted, and now he's come back here. Probably going to be a bit disappointed that Harry Maguire's come in to block his pathway slightly, but he's got a bundles of ability. He really has, and don't be surprised to see him in the starting lineup should Ole Gunnar either decide to give one of the two centre halves a rest, or they're not performing, because he's waiting in the wings and he's a tough, solid, really, really hard competitor, Axel.
Yeah, he will be chomping at the bit to take his chance if he gets it. It's most likely you expect to be Maguire and Lindelof, but there's plenty of talented centre-backs at the club now who would all be eager to take their chance should it come. Now, here at Old Trafford, ahead of this new Premier League season, there have been quite a few changes around the ground. Take a look at this.
So I'm currently in the Salford suite of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, which is split into two newly renovated kitchen dining areas. First, we have this area, which is a sort of market, food, deli stuff. There's all this lovely, bowl of lemons if you fancy. And then if we follow the corridor this way, you come with me, then I'm going to have to try and do a door whilst walking backwards. Oh, they've done it. Market food?
Yes. Yeah.
Sounded excited. Okay, so we're heading now to the fine dining area of the Salford suite. If you want to have a go at some of this, then all you have to do is have a ticket that's in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand somewhere near the Salford suite. It gives you access. Call ahead about a week in advance and you can book yourself a table. Or if you want not the fine dining option, if you just want to be in the market food, then all you need to do is have that ticket and then you are sort of given access anyway. If you want to know more information, get yourself on the website, and there's sort of all in there. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know all of it off the top of my head. So all of this has been newly renovated. All the people here are seeing it just like you and I for the very first time since last season. These guys are just getting their free programmes that they get. Let's see if they're excited. Guys, you excited?
Yeah.
Confirmed, he's very excited. Score prediction today?
2-1.
Who's going to score?
I have a feeling Pogba might score today, but I've not had that feeling in a long time. But today, I feel like it's today.
All right. Well, fingers crossed he's right. Okay, we're going to head in before you. Go and see what it looks like. Okay, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Hello. Are you busy?
No, not really. Why?
I meant in here.
No, we're very busy in here. Yeah, we're very busy.
But you're not busy.
But I'm not busy at the moment.
Right. What are you doing? What's the clipboard?
That's all our guests, and we log all our guests that have booked to dine. So we've got all their details.
Lies. It's a Sudoku. Come on. Okay, so this is the fine dining area. This guy loves it. There he is. Have a little wave. Do a wave. There he is. Okay, let's get him. Right. Have you been here before?
Never.
What do you think of it?
Love it.
Would you recommend it to other people thinking about coming to Old Trafford?
If they're Reds, yeah.
Nice. Prediction today?
It's got to be 2-0. 2-0 United.
Who's going to score?
Rashford.
We'll take that. Okay, right, we'll carry on.
It looks really good in there, to be fair. It's making me hungry as well, seeing all that. But they have renovated quite a few things at Old Trafford, and with all the new stadia being built all around the world, like Spurs' magnificent new stadium, it's nice that our stadium can keep up and keep amending things, changing things, updating, and to keep up with the Joneses, as you were.
Yeah, absolutely. There are plenty of stadiums going on. Near to where I live, you just mentioned Spurs. I was watching that in its entirety as it was being built. It's a fantastic stadium, it really is. But, this is still the place to be. Everybody wants to come and play at Manchester United. And, you don't just see the green grass and the red seats when you're here, Sully, do you? You get all the benefits of what goes on inside, and it does look fantastic.
And it's got so much history, this ground. That's one thing that the new stadiums haven't got. It's over 100 years of fantastic history.
Yeah, it has, and I'm not saying it's never going to change, but there are no plans for it to change anytime soon. And like I said, everybody from all over the world wants to come and visit the Mecca that is Old Trafford.
Today, the crowd will be pouring in expectation that Ole's team is going to get us off to a great start. It's a tough away game at Wolves next, so it's really important we get off to a good one today.
It is. When you see what Spurs, City and Liverpool did yesterday, all getting off and with convincing victories, you don't want to get left behind, because I tell you what, it'll be a long 8 days waiting for the Wolves game if the lads don't get a result today. So I'm confident. I'm really confident that they will. They'll set about Chelsea from the off.
Well, the man stood on our way is Chelsea manager Frank Lampard, and at his press conference he was asked if he was excited to lead Chelsea out into the Premier League for the first time.
Yes, been excited from the first moment that the job was confirmed. Obviously, to be back here, I've spoken a lot about it already. It's a huge thing for me, but the most important thing is I want to make a success of it. So this is where it really begins. I've had a good pre-season, but now the real stuff is coming. You can feel it in the air, and I'm excited, and the players are excited, and now we have to deliver.
Would you take a repeat of what you got the last time you were a manager at Old Trafford?
I certainly would. Well, we drew the game, I suppose, and won it on penalties, but it's completely different. It was a nice experience. I always enjoyed playing at Old Trafford. Incredible stadium, incredible history, and always a difficult match, no matter what year or what team you went up against. So, yeah, of course, it's a completely different thing now. We're both, I suppose we might be in similar stages in a way that we know people will talk about Ole, and now I think it's his real chance to make a stamp on that team with a window and a pre-season behind him. And I'm trying to make a stamp here, so it makes for a competitive match.
Sunday's game, is it bigger for Ole or is it bigger for you?
I don't really know. I mean, it's a big game for us both, without a doubt. We're both, I suppose, the similarities that I touched on before were the fact that it's two huge clubs that have had huge success in the last, well, since I was playing, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, and we know the history of Manchester United, but we both have the same idea that we want to be successful and we want to up our game again slightly. Chelsea have been winning things, but of course we want to be competing for first place, and this is the start of that. So I think it's just huge for us both. I can't say, I certainly feel it's huge, and he will too.
Frank, 13 years at the club, so many trophies, so many memories. Just tell us again what it means to you, the club itself, and to sit here now as the manager on the eve of the new Premier League season.
Well, it means a great deal, and I don't want to take it for granted, because it's an incredible feeling for me to set out 1 year ago in management and then to have the opportunity. I'm very proud to be manager of this club. It means so much in terms of the affiliation I have with the fans. From the day I moved across town to play for the club, it became my club instantly. And even when I moved on at the end of my career, everybody knows how I feel about Chelsea. So to manage them is an amazing thing for me. But I am past the surreal feeling. I'm in the job now, and I'm sitting here, and I know what the office looks like. I know everyone again. I've met the new faces that I didn't know before, and the important part of the job now is what I do on the pitch. So, as I sort of mentioned in my first answer, I'm very dedicated to the task of not just being Chelsea manager. I want to be a successful one.
Yeah, Lampard, who has experience winning as a manager on this ground in that League Cup tie with Derby County. But the fans will be expectant today. We said that, didn't we, that they'll be hoping that we can start off with a win, and it will be a long 8 days before that Wolves game. And let's hope we can get off to a great start. The pre-season has been perfect. Can we continue that in the Premier League? That's just about it from me and Ben. We've got Mata and Rashford to come. Wes Brown joins us next. But now it's that all-important team news with Stuart Gardner.
And the news is that two of Manchester United's new signings make their debuts today. They're competitive debuts. Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire Dan James on the bench. So let's take a look at the first lineup of the season for Manchester United. And that, of course, is David De Gea, who's wearing the captain's armband in goal. Here's the back four: Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. We expect McTominay and Pogba to play as a two in the centre of midfield. Now, I've got Pereira playing on the right, or he could easily play at number 10, but I've got him playing on the right, Jesse Lingard at number 10, Rashford on the left, and Anthony Martial, the new number 9, playing through the middle, as he has done in the vast majority of pre-season. The front four, very much a movable feast, as we've seen in those pre-season games. The bench: Romero, Mata, Young, Dan James, Mason Greenwood, Nemanja Matic, and Axel Tuanzebe. That's the first Manchester United side of the season. Chelsea. New signing Pulisic only on the bench. Kante only fit enough for the bench as well. So Arif Balaga in goal, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Christensen and Emerson. That's the back four for Frank Lampard's side. Midfield: Kovacic and Jorginho we expect to sit. Ahead of them, Pedro, Mason Mount, who was in the Derby team that won at Old Trafford last year in the League Cup, and Barkley. Put him on the left-hand side. Not totally convinced that's where he'll start, but that's where we're going to put him for now. So Pedro, Mount, Barkley, and then 21-year-old Tammy Abraham up front. Prolific in the Championship. How will he get on in the Premier League? Amongst the substitutes for Chelsea today, N'Golo Kanté, who's barely kicked a ball in pre-season, and also Pulisic, new signing. We might see them later on. That's the cast list then for this first game of the new season.
Lots to talk about from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first starting lineup of this season, and we're going to get those opinions from Wes Brown. Wes, before we go anywhere, there's been lots of talk about captains in this team. Obviously, Antonio Valencia left at the end of last season, and Ole has said repeatedly that when he's on the pitch, Ashley Young will play, but wouldn't tell us who would be the captain when he wasn't, and we can now see it's David De Gea. What do you make of that, and how important is it when you're on the pitch who your captain is?
Yeah, I mean, I love that. As we all know, De Gea is a fantastic goalkeeper, and you know, obviously with Antonio leaving, Ashley Young not starting, as we've got Wan-Bissaka at the moment, I think it would have been probably between him and Pogba. But I think giving it De Gea was probably the right choice. He's going to play every game. His experience, you know, how good he is, he can now focus on just being a goalkeeper. But I think it's a good choice from the manager. And like I said, he's been here many years now. Yeah. He's won the best player of the season for Man United on maybe 4 out of the 5 occasions in the last 4 or 5 years. So a great choice again. I hope it brings even better things from him, but I'm sure the lads, will all support that by him being captain.
Absolutely. We'll have another look at that starting lineup right now. First thoughts, Wes? It's a very young team and there's a lot of legs in there.
Yeah, I love it. I'm liking it just from pre-season, the pace, the power, the way we counter-attacked once we won the ball. A young squad. Again, the back line looks solid, and we can work on that. But the way they counter-attacked, especially in pre-season, it was very promising and it was exciting. So I'm sure the manager will want the exact same today.
Debuts for Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. What difference do you think they'll make, and how do you think they'll complement the back four with Lindelof and Luke Shaw?
Yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka is exactly what you see. He's been fantastic from the very first game. He's fast, strong, gets a tackle in. Not many people will beat him this season at all, and we all know what Maguire's capable of. Yes, he would have been nice to maybe get him earlier so we could, get to know the lads a little bit better and obviously train more. But what a fantastic addition, and he's going to, bring strength now to the back.
Also, almost like a new signing, Anthony Martial has his number 9 shirt back and has moved back to centre forward rather than being out on the left. His very best season in terms of stats came in his debut season when he was number 9, when he was playing as a forward. How do you think he'll be this season? Is that what we can expect? Will he be excited at that?
I think he'll thrive off it, yeah. That's where he wants to play. He wants to be that number 9. He wants to be centre forward. Put me in and I'll score. So, we all know what he's like. We all know, the capabilities that he's got. So if he can get off to a good start today, I'm sure it's going to be great things to come.
Yeah, OK, we'll have a look at Chelsea's starting lineup now. Obviously, they've got a transfer ban. They sold Eden Hazard, but they did bring in Christian Pulisic, who doesn't start today. Abraham, though, young, and he'll want to prove himself, won't he, in this team? Opportunities for him with that transfer ban. Is he someone we need to watch?
Yeah, I mean, he was fantastic last year. So obviously bringing him back now to Chelsea and starting him, it's very brave. He is a young lad. but he must have ability, and I'm sure he's going to want to get off to a good start. You know, Frank again, he's got some young lads in there as well with a little bit of experience. So, I mean, it's a new manager. You know, he's going to bring in new players. So it's going to be interesting. But I do think, you know, the way we started in pre-season, that you know, if we can continue like that, we can only get better. So it's going to be a tough game today.
Yeah.
But I do believe we can get the win.
Okay, I saw you sort of smile when you were looking at the Chelsea. Like, you don't care, do you? Who cares who we're playing? This is Manchester United, first of their season back at Old Trafford. We will now, though, hear from a former Chelsea man. It's our lovely little Spaniard, Juan Mata.
You must have had a bit of a wry smile on your face when you saw the fixture list come out and Chelsea was the first opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we had difficult opponents also in some other seasons. We played Tottenham, we play other big clubs. So, you know, at the end of the day, you will have to play against everyone, and let's see who arrives in best condition to that opening game. But it will be nice also for their manager as a first game against Manchester United. New project, new manager, some changes in the squad. So it will be nice to start like that.
Yeah, and if you get a win at home at Old Trafford against a rival, that could be a perfect way to start the season, lay down a bit of a marker.
It would be the perfect way to start, you know, have a good pre-season, try to win as many games as we can, everyone ready, no injuries, and then first game of the season against Chelsea at home, and if we can win that game, then that will be the perfect start, and I'm sure that the fans will feel the excitement of a new season.
It will be odd though, won't it, when you're on the pitch to look over in the dugout and there's a former teammate sat in the opposition box there?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. You know, he's done a great job last season with Derby, and obviously Chelsea is his home. I think he deserves it, and I'm happy that he's managing a big club, and I'm sure he's ready for it. He's a good friend, so I wish him the best, but not in the opening game.
And is there a better feeling as a professional footballer than running out in front of a packed crowd at Old Trafford, that opening game of the season, the new shirt on your back? And
another reason for me to renew the contract, to play every 2 weeks, every 10 days at Old Trafford is just an unbelievable feeling, you know. And in a football player's career, to be able to say that you have played for a club like Manchester United for many years, it makes me feel very proud. And as I said before, there are many reasons why I signed a new contract, and playing and wearing that shirt is probably the biggest of them.
And just finally, your old friend VAR is coming into the Premier League for next season. Have you discussed that as a group, or
not yet?
Have you got any thoughts on it personally?
Not yet, to be honest, but I think we will have to, because it changed a lot the game. You need to be ready for carrying on with the play, even if the linesman puts the flag up, because it can be a goal, even if you stop. So I think for strikers, obviously, you have to always finish. It doesn't matter if the referee whistles or if the linesman put the flags up, you have to finish. And for the defenders, you have to keep defending. And it also changed the way you defend set pieces, some lateral free kicks and things like that. So I think we will have to discuss it, and it will change a lot the game and the way you prepare for games. So I think it's good. I think it's a positive thing from football. Personally, I had one positive and one negative experience with it, but I think it's fair, and as long as you make football more fair, then it's better. But I think they have to do it a bit quicker, because if not, it kills a little bit the motion of the game. So let's see how it works.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Juan Mata is a lovely little Spanish man. Genuinely might start a fan club. All right, before we get into how special it is to play at Old Trafford, because he touched on that, and I think people would love to know your thoughts on that, especially of Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, and maybe even Daniel James making their debuts here today. Wes, there are new rules with VAR. We've seen, I've seen they've been circulating videos and information sheets about how they're being enforced and what those rules are. As a player, do you trust that the players on both teams, going to get wet now, will know what the new rules are?
Well, they should do. You do have meetings before every season, before the season starts. Someone comes in and explains it all. I think it's only respectful that you do sort of understand the rules, because it will help in the long run. So I'm pretty sure they do, but there will be a couple where you're like, is that the real? What's this? What happens here? That's always the case when, you know, every beginning of every season, as you know, things get tweaked here and there. So it's going to be interesting. We've already had a couple of situations with VAR so far this weekend. Listen, it is what it is, and you've just got to deal with it and get on with it.
It's added drama, isn't it? It's added drama. We'll get on to the extra rules and VAR a little bit later in the show, but right now let's talk about the fact that Mata said about how special it is to play at Old Trafford, and that's one of the reasons he signed that contract extension. How do you think Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka are feeling right now ahead of their debuts in the Theatre of Dreams?
Yeah, he's completely right, and I can tell you because I've once left the club, so you know, to play here is such an achievement. It's something you want to continue doing as long as you can. You know, even players that I played against would have loved to have, you know, been a Man United player. They always say this is the best ground they've come to. So I completely understand where Juan Mata's coming from, and you know, like you said, he has signed that contract. We've got him here now, and he loves the place. He understands about the club. He understands the history. He understands what it means to put on the shirt. And when you've got players like that, you know, you want them to stay.
Is it important to have people like that in the dressing room? Does that come across? Because we've heard about former pros like Wayne Rooney, Michael Carrick talking about explaining to new signings about what Manchester United is. If you don't have that, do you lose something in the dressing room?
I mean, they already should know. You know, there will be players in there. I mean, we've got players who have been here a long time and they completely understand what Manchester United's about. So, yeah, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, the way he started, he already knows. We've got Harry Maguire now coming in. He will understand. You know, he's an English footballer who has played here on many occasions for different teams. And he will now know and understand, you know, what this is all about, and I'm sure when he runs out today, he's going to be a great feeling, not just for him but for the fans as well.
I'm looking forward to it. Right now, though, we're going to hear the thoughts of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's in the tunnel with Stuart Gardner.
Ole, you walked down this tunnel a million times, but on the opening day of the season, a few butterflies perhaps?
Yeah, of course. It's one of them that you've been waiting for a long time, and finally it's here. Wait is over, and we've had a great pre-season. The boys have really bought into our ideas, and they've made it work, and so there's no reason why we should change too much.
And looking at the front four throughout on MUTV in the summer, we've seen a dynamic, fluid front four. Is that the sort of thing you're looking for today?
And confident, and they're all capable of their own, together or individually, they can create and score goals. So of course we expect those four to be a goal threat for us.
And David's wearing the captain's armband. Are we likely to see that this season when Ashley's not available, or will it be something that changes on a weekly basis?
David's a natural leader, and you might see that more often.
Best of luck today. Thank you
very much.
Lou Macari has now joined us on the touchline. Lou, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I feel like, shall I do this? Is that
I used to have a box.
Yeah,
here, you know.
It doesn't seem fair with Wes and I either side.
They've taken my box away.
It's like we're looking after you. Although I don't look. I look more like boiled celery than intimidating.
I'm going to get the box back for the next game.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, right. In a bit, we're going to have a look at some more of those new rules that Wes and I touched on. But first, let's reflect on what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just talking about. He was talking about pre-season and how happy he was with that. When, as a fan, I've always thought pre-season was just like a lad's holiday. Wes, we've spoken about this before, and you've assured me that's not what it is. Can you give us a bit of insight as to how pre-season works? You were out there, you went to Shanghai this summer. What was going on? What was your impression?
Well, the first thing, it was hot. Believe me, it was hot. So, you know, for the work the lads put in out there, I watched training a few of the times, and it was hard. You know, the running. You know, you're just getting fit. Pre-season is what it is. You accept it, and you know you have to go through it. The main thing is that we didn't get too many injuries, and everyone seemed to come through it. Obviously, except for Bailly, who's obviously got a knee problem, but everyone else seemed to come through it. And you know, all the work's been put in. You could see in the games that everyone was trying. The speed the lads were playing at, the counter attacks we were doing. You could see everything Ole wanted, and he said beforehand what he wanted to come out of pre-season, the lads were doing. So for him to come in the first game now, if they can come in with that same attitude, I'm sure, you know, we can see some good football today.
Lou, do you imagine what we'll see today will be a reflection of what we saw in pre-season?
It never really is. I mean, you go in pre-season, the games are they're not really the tempo you'll get today. But from a manager's point of view, you win a few games, you do hope that continues when the season starts. But Ole will take into account today that maybe one or two players are not 100% fit, and hopefully they get a result. The main thing is a result. First game of the season, get a good result. Everyone's buoyant. Everyone starts to believe, what they should believe anyway, that Manchester United can win the Premier League. It's not that long ago that Leicester won it.
That's true.
And for some reason going around at the moment is every pundit just believing there's only 2 teams can win it. Well, there isn't. There's 3 teams can win it. There's Manchester United can win it as well if they put it in every week, if the players are up for it, if they're determined enough. And Ole will be hoping that his players, having come back from the tour they've been on, are ready for it. And today we'll get a little indication to what they've got to offer.
Okay, thank you very much, Luke. We've already spoken a bit about VAR, but there are plenty of new rules this season, and we've got this little informational package for you to learn about them, I suppose. Wes, pay attention.
Okay. As the 2019 season of the Premier League is almost upon us, and while most of us are either excited or worried about the prospect of VAR coming into English football, the International Football Association have announced a list of rules which will affect the game from this season. So let's take a look. Number 1, free kicks. Starting this season, players on the attacking team are no longer allowed within 1 yard of a wall containing 3 or more players. The International Football Association stated there is no legitimate tactical justification with it being against the spirit of the game. Number 2, celebrations. According to the new rules, the yellow or red card issued by the referee for an illegal celebration, such as running into the fans or removal of the player's shirt, cannot be rescinded, even if the goal has been disallowed by VAR. Number 3, handball. Any goal which is now scored or created through accidental handball will no longer stand. The same rule also states that any player caught with his hand above shoulder height is deemed unnatural and they'll be taking a risk by having it in that position. Number 4, quick free kicks. If the referee is about to issue a player with a card for a foul, but the team in possession decide to take a quick free kick to create a scoring opportunity, the referee can now delay issuing a card until the next stoppage within the game. The International Football Association stated that it's clearly unfair if a new attack is stopped so the referee can penalise the offender. Number 5, subs. A player that has been substituted must now leave the field by the nearest point on the touchline. This has been enforced to eliminate players slowly walking to the halfway line to waste time in a game. Number 6, drop ball. Drop balls are now a big thing of the past, with the Football Association stating the current procedure is exploited unfairly and can lead to an aggressive confrontation. The new rules means the team that touched the ball last will remain in possession unless the game was stopped inside the 18-yard box. In that case, it's returned to the goalkeeper. Number 7, penalty kicks. From this season, all goalkeepers during a penalty kick must ensure they have at least 1 foot on the goal line when the penalty is taken. All movement and intent to throw off the penalty taker is no longer acceptable. Number 8, goal kicks. Under the old legislation, the ball was considered dead within the 18-yard box during a goal kick. This season, however, the ball now becomes in play from the moment that it's touched. This is thought to create a faster and more dynamic restart to the game and eliminate any attempt at time wasting. Number 9, officials. Any team official guilty of misconduct during a game will now be issued a yellow or red card. If the offender cannot be identified, the senior coach in the technical area will now be penalised instead. Number 10, kickoff. Going into the 2019 season, the winner of the pre-match coin flip can now have the option of kicking off or choosing which goal to attack first. Previously, they only had the option of choosing which side they wanted to start the game. And finally, number 11, head-to-head results. Starting from the new season, 2 teams who end the campaign on the same points and goal difference will now have their final position decided by their head-to-head results. This is an attempt to avoid any playoff being required to determine a final position in the league table when it comes to the title, European spots, and relegations. If 2 teams end their campaign on the same points, goal difference, and equal head-to-head results, then the team that scored the most away goals will be given the higher league position. In a worst-case scenario where both teams finish level with an equal away goal record, then a playoff will be used to decide the tie.
A lot to digest there, lots of new rules. Wes, can you just summarise quickly for everybody all those rules?
No. Some of them are good. I like some of them.
Which ones do you like?
I think the free kick one's not bad. The one where you can just take it.
Just get it done.
Because, you know, the manager always wanted us to try and play quick. And you've seen it many a times, and the ref will blow saying, listen, I've not blew my whistle yet. So it would be frustrating. So that's a good one. Some of them are normal.
Sure. Lou, do you think it makes sense just for players to leave the pitch at the closest exit rather than walking off to the halfway line?
Well, when a player is walking off to the halfway line, if his team's in front, obviously he takes his time.
Yeah.
That'll speed the game up, but there's so many rules there.
There's a lot.
It's ridiculous, and with no big screen here at Old Trafford, how is what's happening going to be relayed to the people who count, which is the people in the stadium?
Yeah.
Other grounds that have got the big screen, they'll be able to see what's happening. But already, I think we're in for chaos. I think we're in for a season of absolute chaos.
That sounds like great fun.
Starting today here at Old Trafford. There's bound to be talking points after the game.
I'm looking forward to it, a season of chaos. Just a quick one about defending. Wes, anything that has the hand above the body and that strikes the ball that's unnatural will now be considered a handball. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, fair enough. Just jump normal. You don't need your hands up there anyway. Try and win the ball with fairness. I think the example we give there was a bit extraordinary with the Scholesy one, but as a defender, you know you can't put your hand up. You have to jump naturally and try and win it that way.
Can I ask you, who are these people that are making these vital decisions now? Who are they and where are they?
Nobody knows, Lou.
Well, why is
Nobody knows. They're hidden in a van somewhere in a secure location. Yeah, nobody knows who the VAR people are.
Are they ex-footballers, ex-referees?
I think they're referees, aren't they? They're qualified officials.
Right. But we don't know where they are.
It's not like a jury. They don't take a panel of like the players' peers and go, you decide. It is a selection of they'll be in the stadium somewhere, I think, watching it on the replays and checking everything, making a decision, and then we all argue about it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Right, we will now hear from Marcus Rashford.
For me, it's about getting the club back to where they are and what everybody knows Manchester United as, and you know, I give my life for this club, so that's the most important thing for me.
Rashford, a great trickery, Rashford, brilliant! What a goal, Marcus Rashford.
When you're in a squad with a lot of young players that share the same sort of ambition and we have the same drive, for me, I can only see us succeeding. So it might take us some time, but I think if we all stick to the game plan, and you know, right now we've got a good manager who knows the club, and he also shares the same sort of ambition. So if we all work collectively as a team, then you know, who knows what we can achieve.
You're only 21. You're coming up to 200 appearances for the club, 3 major honours. How do you feel about where your career is right now?
You know, I'm in a good place. I can't complain. You know, I'm playing for Man United, and for me that was my dream when I was a young boy. So I can't have any complaints about my career.
And obviously, you're always looking to develop and evolve. What's the next step in your development?
Yeah, for me, it's just about becoming the guy that's responsible and reliable. I think that's sort of the next step for me, and you know, everything goes in order in the way it should be done. I remember these similar steps when I first went into the under-18s, and you know, it's like it takes you a season to you know, grow into that standard of football, and then before you know it, you know, you're one of the leaders there, and you know, you take responsibility on the pitch.
You've spoken about trying to be the ultimate forward and being comfortable across all 3 positions. Do you feel like you've picked up a lot of experience in each of those roles now?
Yeah, definitely. It's about putting them experiences together. That's how you mould sort of the ultimate forward. And right now, I feel like mentally and physically, I'm more prepared to do it than I have been in the past. Especially physically. I remember this time last season, at the beginning of the season, my legs was so tight and tired, and you know, we hadn't had much rest, and it was tough starting the season, trying to start the season off quick. But with the same amount of rest this year, we've managed to sort of schedule training, and you know, it's been a lot more individualised, and you know, I feel a lot better for it.
Rashford really gets motoring here. Pereira's in the middle. Rashford going on his own. Still Rashford. Great run! Great goal! That's brilliant. Explosive. Marcus Rashford, when he's running at defenders, they hate it. He finds the net, and United lead 1-0.
You just touch upon physicality there. You're obviously, as you get older, you're filling out more, you're bigger, but you're not lost any of your speed. It's quite a balancing act, isn't it, of getting bigger and stronger and putting yourself about more without compromising that's such a big part of your game.
Yeah, you know, you want the aim is you want to try and put a bit of muscle on, but you don't want to gain any fat. So obviously with the help, the club help you a lot with that, and you know, you have a chef. So for me it's simple. You know, you try and eat the right things and just train as hard as you can, and then you'll get the results. So for me, it was just about not necessarily changing anything, just letting the natural development happen. But yeah, now I feel a lot stronger within myself.
And do you enjoy putting yourself about a bit more now that you can?
I think it's part and parcel of this league. You know, you learn to love it, and yeah, you're going into games expecting that from the defenders that are in this league. So yeah, you know, you get used to it, you grow up.
As we touched upon, you're a young guy with a lot of experience and some big medals already. And you've also mentioned keywords like experience and leadership. You sound like you want to be a figurehead for this group going forward.
I think it's not just me. I think there's sort of the group of young players together. We can sort of start to become what we decide to become. And that's an important thing for me. You know, we can start to help the younger ones that are coming through, and it's all part and parcel of, you know, growing in a Man United shirt, and you know, it's just the next step.
More from Marcus Rashford later, but right now he's literally just run out onto the pitch here at Old Trafford with the rest of the Manchester United squad today. Last season, guys, very first day of the season, Manchester United starting 11, average age 25 and 7 months. Today, 23 and 7 months. It's a much younger team. Marcus Rashford, 21 years old. How important is this season going to be for him, especially as we've seen Romelu Lukaku leave?
I think it's a massive season for all the players. The younger ones that have come in, we don't really regard Marcus Rashford as one of the younger ones anymore.
He's sort of a senior player now, isn't he, at 21?
But for those that do get a chance, it's a golden opportunity for all of them.
Yeah.
Get a chance in the first team here and get in the team, stay here for 10 years. You're idolised by people around that fill this stadium every week. Can't think of a better club to play football at, and they'll realise that as well. I think just recently there's not that many have come in, though, younger ones, and really stamped their authority to make sure the manager's got to pick them every week. Maybe one or two of the new breed may do that.
People like Mason Greenwood, who's also in the squad today.
Hopefully. They're all talented players, but getting in the team and staying in the team is another thing.
Yes.
You can get the odd game, you can get the odd occasion where the manager's going to pick you because maybe one or two players are tired or there's an important game coming up. But you know when you've arrived at Old Trafford if he picks you every single week.
Okay. Whereas Marcus Rashford there was talking about how he wants to be the sort of ultimate versatile forward and be able to fill any of those positions. Today he's playing slightly wider. You were a versatile defender. How difficult is it? Is it hard to have that mindset and say, yeah, I could play right back or centre back or left back this week? Or do you just think, as long as I'm in the team, I'm not worried?
No, as long as you're in the team, I'm telling you, it didn't matter to me whether it was centre back, right back. I wanted to play, I wanted to do my best.
Yeah.
There was no arguing. You know, you just want to play games. You want to help your teammates out. You know, we had so much respect for each other that, you know, it wasn't about this player's playing there today and I'm playing right back. You know, we're all one team and we win as a team. So, you know, just to be on the field I was more than happy with that. But like Louis said there, this is a big season for us now. I mean, it's a fresh start. Last season we had ups and downs. But, you know, the manager now has got a team together which thinks is capable of challenging. and now it's up to the lads to do it. You know, we know the potential, we know what they're capable of, but now they've got to show it. Like I said, we had a good pre-season, but can we now bring it into this game?
Yep. Okay. Harry Maguire out here now. How's he going to be feeling?
Excited.
Yeah.
I think he'll be excited. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he understands how big the club is. I don't think he'll have a lot of pressure on him. He won't be thinking about that. He's too experienced for that. But he'll be excited now to obviously run out first game of the season, first game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, he's gonna, like we know he can do. He's going to play very well and show everyone
Won't be
here
fazed
what
by
he
that
can
price
do.
tag.
I don't think he will. That's the game now. He was a lot of money, but that's football in general. If you want the best players, you have to pay the biggest money.
End of last season, he would have thought, beginning of the season, he's going to be running out for Leicester, not for Manchester United. But it's all come together. It's all come together because his improvement in the game from a youngster, progressing through the ranks, and then playing for who he played for, and then eventually for Leicester. And because of his performances for Leicester and England, he's now at Old Trafford.
Absolutely.
And so a little lesson to all the youngsters, how you do get where you want to get to. Work hard.
There you go. Work hard, kids. Right now, Mark Sullivan is somewhere in Old Trafford.
Thanks, guys. Well, I've come round to the Treble Suite to catch up with Arthur Albiston, a defender of huge experience when in Manchester United colours. And Arthur, it's the defence which has had the most work done over the summer, with Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka coming in, and both of them start.
Yeah, it's encouraging. Obviously, the two signings are top draw signings. Wan-Bissaka showed his form last season at Crystal Palace. Used to play further up the pitch as a wide player, so it'll be no problem for him getting forward. Very athletic. Maguire's an experienced England international now, and they've decided to play him. Obviously, his fitness is great, but his games, and the best way to get it is playing.
Now, Wan-Bissaka had a stellar season with Crystal Palace last time out. It's a different animal coming to Manchester United, though, and playing in front of a packed Old Trafford week in, week out. But from what you've seen so far, has he got the mentality to cope?
I'm sure he has. As a young lad, he's got all his career ahead of him. He's got a fantastic move to one of the biggest clubs in England, so he'll be looking forward to it and relishing it, I'm sure. And as I say, he used to play further up the pitch, so he knows what it's like to go bombing forward. And he's very athletic to get back, very quick. So I'm sure he'll enjoy his time here.
Just the 7 clean sheets in the Premier League last season, which isn't good enough, so the additions of Maguire and Wan-Bissaka will hopefully improve that. And Maguire has been such a consistent performer for Leicester in the Premier League.
He has. We've seen him play 7 or maybe 8 years ago in a Youth Cup semi-final, I think it was, with Sheffield United.
The final, yeah.
The final, rather. So we've seen him play a couple of times then, and he always stood out, big, imposing. Went to Hull City, went to Leicester. So his career's moved upwards, and he's going to be a mainstay in the England team, isn't he? And he'll be a mainstay here at Manchester United, and hopefully he can hit the ground running today, and we can get a positive result.
No Nemanja Matic in the starting lineup, which is a big boost for Scott McTominay, who comes in. Now, whether it's Andy Pereira alongside Paul Pogba in the middle, or Pereira is playing out wide and Jesse's in the middle, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it'd be quite a fluid formation, but it's quite a youthful looking midfield and forward line.
Yeah, he's obviously going to put his faith in all the youth. That's what it's like at this club, but he can see that, and he's going to give chances to people. We've seen it with Chong, Gomez and joining the squad, Jimmy Garner going on tour with them as well. But certainly Pereira, I think, is flexible with him and Lingard, who can play where. But they've both got great ability, and you want them to get the ball further up the field, near the opposition's goal area, where we can cause them problems.
And just finally on Chelsea, we say ours is a youthful team, so is Chelsea's, isn't it? Tammy Abraham leading the line. Mason Mount had a fantastic loan spell with Lampard at Derby. He's in there as well. So it's two teams with very optimistic outlooks towards this new season and very youthful lineups.
Yeah, he's shown his faith in youth as well. You know, Abraham's done great, and so has Mount, made fantastic strides, and he's shown his hand that he's going to go with that as well. And I think there's a chance for an embargo with him for a bit of time, but he's shown he's putting his faith in youth as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. It'll be a fascinating game upcoming. It's always close between Manchester United and Chelsea, just as it was when we dipped back into the archives.
The defining game of this Barclays Premier League season. United win. The title is theirs for the taking. Victory for Chelsea, though. They'd go top on goal difference with 2 to play. The stakes so high. It's one of many decisions our referee, Howard Webb, will have to get right today. Park emerging from midfield. Chicharito through the middle. What a chance! What a start! Within the first minute, Chicharito scores and United have lift-off here at Old Trafford. United 1, Chelsea 0.
Well, you can't ask for a better start than that, can you? How's that for coolness? First minute of the game.
And if United are to win the title this season, it is because of their home record, which has been outstanding to date. Lampard, well played, Park. Park wins it back again. Remember, he set United up early on, finds Rooney. Rooney has a go from distance!
Oh, good save, goalkeeper.
That was arrowing into the corner of the net. A beautiful, clean strike and a terrific save from Cech. Giggs. Carrick, Giggs again, ghosting forward. Park, Chicharito again!
What a chance that was.
Heck of a chance. United first to it again. Chelsea just pinned back a bit here. Park, cross comes Ivanovic, why not take him on?
Yeah, take him on because he's been booked already.
Has a go himself!
That's a hell of a strike that, wasn't it? That surprised everybody, even the goalkeeper of Chelsea.
Park again. What a game he's having. Giggs. Oh, he beats Kalou, all ends up. Dangerous ball in Vidic! One hand on the trophy. Nemanja Vidic, the captain, comes up with the goods when it matters most. United 2, Chelsea 0. Malouda. In it comes towards Terry, who nods it on dangerously. Great save from Van der Sar and into the side
save by Van der Sar. How important is that? Reaction save that.
Here's Ivanovic. Lampard. Cole. Good ball. Here's Ramirez. Plenty to aim at in the centre. Ramirez took a deflection. Headed down and in. Lampard scores and it's 2-1. Where's he getting the time from? That's it! It's now just a matter of time before United win a record 19th title. Great performance from Manchester United. A day we won't be forgetting for a long time at Old Trafford.
That game we just saw the highlights of was in itself a league decider. Two teams fighting tooth and nail to win the Premier League. United obviously clinched it in the end. Do you think this season, Lou sort of touched on it earlier, will be a two-horse race? Can United be involved in a title race?
I think the two teams will be favourites, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as or as spaced out as last year. You know, City and Liverpool were challenging last year. I think this year will be a lot harder for them two teams to do that. Yes, we know that they're the teams to beat, but I just feel that, you know, the sides this year will bring a little bit more to the league than we quite think. It will be tight. We know what we have to do to beat them two teams. You know, they were fantastic last year, but it's going to be. It gets harder each year, and you know, hopefully we can be up there and we can see where we'll be near the end of the season.
Look, totally different subject now. Lots of talk this summer about Paul Pogba, whether or not he was happy to stay at Manchester United. He's here, he's clearly not going anywhere, he's in the matchday squad. How do you think his mindset will be? Does transfer rumours affect the dressing room? Obviously you had your own saga when you went to Sunderland.
No, I think, listen, that's done now. Transfer's gone. Paul Pogba's staying, I'm sure. Regardless, whatever the situation was, he's here now for the season, and he will put in a great shift. I think, you know, he's one of our main players, one of our best players, and when he plays well, we play well. So, you know, I'm sure he'll be concentrating now on just this season alone, and he's fully with the team, and the lads will know that.
As a player, do you read the rumours? Like, would you be looking at him being like, oh, surely Waz is not going to leave, or like, Park, I don't want him to go. Do you worry about that? Do you talk to each other about the rumours, or is it just nothing?
Not really. There might be a little joke thrown here and there every now and again, but in general, no, you respect every individual. You know, things might be going on behind the scenes that you have no control over. But as teammates, you carry on it the same. You know, we're the ones putting on the shirt, and we're going to play together every week. So you respect that and you play your best.
Okay, thank you, guys. Now we're going to hear from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once again. We sat down with him on Friday.
Ole, it's always exciting on the sort of verge of a new season. What's your overriding emotion as we go into this new campaign?
Excited, as you are. Finally, the wait is over. It's a long summer with games that don't matter, international. You're watching them. You don't have that butterfly feeling flying around in your stomach. Pre-season is great because we need it. It's valuable. We need to team bonding, fitness work, tactical work. But this is when the going gets tough, and when the good players step up, and this is my stage.
And the window's closed. You don't have to talk about it anymore.
It's a relief, isn't it?
But obviously 3 senior players in. Overall, are you satisfied with what's taken place?
Delighted with the 3 that's come in, and they're players that we've been looking for and looking at and trying for a long time, and we were 100% sure they will be part of this club for many years. And that's key, that we do sign players that we are sure of. Of course, there's been discussions I've seen in the press that we've been linked with so many other players. But when there's that little bit of doubt, will he not be with us, and will he give us something? I think we've made the right decisions.
Obviously, one of those players we haven't really spoken to you about is Harry Maguire, since he joined a week ago. Obviously, he's only been training for a few days, but from what you've seen of him, has he impressed you?
Yeah, very much so. He's come in as a presence. He's come in. He's taller and bigger than I thought, and he's come in as a real plus, and he'll have an impact on the rest of the boys.
And is he? I mean, he's had a pre-season, of course, but not with us, but with Leicester. But do you feel he's ready to?
Yeah, Harry's ready to play. I'm sure he'll put himself up when I ask him Sunday morning, "Are you available?" Because he's played many games for Leicester over the season. He's trained well. And he's looked sharp when he's been here.
Great to hear from the boss as always. Now though, we'll have a quick look at the previous results, previous fixtures from today. That's what I mean. Actually, it's the whole weekend's results. But today, Leicester 0, Wolves 0, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 1. People talk about the top 6. This is the last fixture of this weekend that involved 2 teams from top 6. All of the others have won. There have been no slip-ups. Somebody is going to drop points today. Fairly confident it'll be Chelsea, no?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I mean, just off what I've seen pre-season, we've got a young team. You know, the energy, the enthusiasm in the squad. Yeah. It's going to be quick today, I'm sure. The manager's got to is playing quick, fast. You know, good attacking football, especially counter-attacks. So I mean, we've got a fantastic opportunity now to obviously keep up with the top guns already.
Any other results there that stand out for you? Obviously, City and Liverpool winning. Liverpool letting in a goal, so clearly now rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, Burnley 3-0, fantastic home win. We know how good they can be at home. And you've got to say Brighton away to Watford. That was I didn't see that one coming. So, I mean, the fun and games have started already.
Yeah, same as Spurs getting a late win.
Yeah, again, different, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. Yeah. And, you know, you move forward from that. But, you know, this is a big opportunity for us now. Yeah. Not just to get 3 points, but stamp a little bit of ground and, you know, tell people that we are going to be up for it this year. And, you know, so all the lads have got a great opportunity now to hopefully try and get that done.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Ole said you can't win the league in those first 10 games, but you can take yourself out of the running. So important today to get started with a win.
It is. I mean, it's important that we just start off good. We, like I said, everyone's confident. We play how Ole wants us to play, nice, quick, and then we go from there. We know we've got the boys in the squad that can punish people, that can end games. Yeah. So we just need to go out there as a team, understand that, you know, this is what we want to achieve this year, and then the lads go and do it. First game, Chelsea, tough one, but I've got, you know, all faith in the lads.
Totally confident of a win today?
I am, honestly I am. I mean, it's a difficult one for Chelsea as well. I mean, they've lost the best player in Hazard, going to Real Madrid. New manager coming in being Frank Lampard, who I'm sure will do well. But there's a lot of new faces in here that have not played together as much as well. So sure, it's going to be a good game. You know, it looks like 2 young sides.
Okay, so Old Trafford is now filling up. We are 15 minutes away from kickoff. This is Old Trafford. It's the very first day of this season. Enjoy this, and then you'll hear from Stuart and Paddy.
It's going to be a nice feeling to walk out on the pitch and play against a good team and start the new season.
got to be resilient. We're working together. We know we have to stick together as a team. Find this feeling of we are Man United. You don't win the league the first 8 or 9 games, but I think you can make sure that you don't lose the chance to win the league. You get what you deserve in football. You have to earn the right to win games. You have to earn the right to win trophies. And if you come April, May, I expect us to be challenging for trophies.
The wait is over. Premier League is back.
Well, what a start to the season. Game one of the new season, bringing together the 2 most successful clubs in the history of the Premier League, and 2 managers, great players for their former clubs, looking to do the same in the managerial hot seat. A lot to look out for today, Paddy, when you think that City have already won, Liverpool have won, Arsenal have won, Tottenham have won. Oh, we could do with winning, couldn't we?
You're trying to frighten them. I think you're succeeding. I think this is an important game for both teams, Stuart, the most important game of the season. I know it's the first game, but it's all a confidence factor. If United can get a result, this is one of the teams that's going to be in the top 4, Chelsea, or one of either them or us. But we have to win this game. I think it's that important.
Very different seasons for both clubs, because Chelsea have a transfer embargo, so they're being forced to play some of the young players who have been on a production line of recent years, but a lot of them have just been out on loan. But now they've got to play Tammy Abraham today. Mason Mount, who was with Frank Lampard at Derby last year, haven't been able to sign any new players, although a couple of players joined, of course, in January, and one on loan last season in Kovacic, and that's been made permanent. So it's going to be a different sort of season for them. And similarly with United, Ole clearly putting his faith in youth and an exuberant side, a high-pressing side.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea are more or less in that same factor as well, as you're saying with them. They can't buy a player, and sometimes that's a good thing to a certain degree, because you give kids a chance. It's a chance for kids like Abraham to make a name for themselves. So yeah, I think this is going to be a difficult game for United. It's not going to be easy. But let's hope it's an exciting game anyway, which I'm sure it will be when you've got a lot of young kids out on there that want to impress people on both sides, want to impress people. Surely we're going to see an attacking match and hopefully a few goals, but only for us.
OK, well, let's just remind ourselves of the Manchester United lineup today. If you watched us in pre-season on MUTV, you'll notice that it was a very fluid front 4, high-pressing front 4. Now, I don't know whether Pereira is going to start on the right or whether Jesse Lingard will start on the right and Pereira at number 10. But whatever happens, that front 4 with Rashford probably on the left, Martial through the middle, it's a movable feast, Paddy. They can play all over the place, can't they?
And the one thing about them, Stuart, they're young. They're young and they're hungry. They want to stay in the team. The only way you can stay in the team is by going on that pitch and proving to the manager that they should be in the team. But it's great for Ole that he's given so many youngsters a start. In actual fact, McTominay is another young kid that's inexperienced as well.
But if you look at not just the front 4, Pat, you actually look at the front 6 with McTominay and Pogba. That's energetic.
Of course they are, but Stuart, they all want to go forward as well. It's not the fact that they're well, they are energetic, but the fact they can get up and down the pitch. That's so important in present-day football, in actual fact, to be able to go up this new word that's got the game, the high press. But that's people just pushing forward, trying to get the ball back, and when it breaks down, get back in your own half and defend.
We're going to hear from Marcus Rashford in just a moment. I mean, he can play on the left, of course he can, but he can play through the middle, swap with Anthony Martial. How big a season is it for Marcus? No Lukaku now, so he maybe needs to be one of the main goal threats.
Without question, Stuart, and I think even with Ole's given him that chance to do that in actual fact. The great thing about Marcus is he's got great pace, Stuart, and he's clever with it. You get most people that are quick and don't have a brain. He's got a football brain, Marcus Rashford. But I look at the United team, Stuart, there's great pace in the front men. Rashford, Pereira, Martial, Lingard. And Pogba can get forward, so can McTominay. So I think it's important that we get a result today.
All right, well, you heard from Marcus Rashford a little bit earlier on our programme. This is part 2 of our exclusive with United striker.
It's been a lot more difficult, but at the same time they've sort of managed the workload a lot better. So the workload and then the recovery has been managed 10 times better. So everyone's feeling good.
Rashford, a great trick with Rashford, brilliant! What a goal, Marcus Rashford.
Of course, there's been an evolution in the style of play, a little bit more, a bit of a higher press within patterns of play. Everyone buying into that, everyone happy with that?
Yeah, 100%. We've always, even in the last sort of 3 years, everyone's always wanted to press, but for us it was how do we go about it that are suitable for the players that we have, and now I just feel like all the players have come together and bought into one way of doing it, and that's the important thing. You know, everybody wishes you could have the ball for 90 minutes, but in reality you're not going to, so the quicker we get it back, the longer time we can spend on the ball.
And pre-season's obviously gone great, but it's a hell of a fixture to be looking forward to, isn't it, to open the Premier League season?
Yeah, 100%. I think, to be honest, I think we're ready for this test now. You know, we've had a good pre-season together, and there's no better game to test yourself than against one of the best teams in the league. So I think it's important to go for the 3 points, and you know, if we get them 3 points, it'll be good for us mentally, because it shows that the work that we've put in over the last 3-4 weeks, you know, it pays off, and once we see the results coming in, I think it'll make us kick on even more.
It's a tough start. It's that, then it's Wolves away. Yeah. You know, you've got to be on it right from the off, haven't you?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough start. Wolves were very good last year. We had two or three very difficult games against them. So yeah, we have to use what happened last season, and you know, we have to try and kick on at the start of the season. That's what's important.
Chelsea are obviously going through changes themselves with Frank Lampard in charge now. Is it difficult to know what to expect from them in that sense?
I've seen a couple of the games, and they look like they're in a good place as well. You know, they look fit, they look strong and healthy, and you know, they're playing good football. And I think it'll be a good game for sure. But you know, hopefully we get the 3 points and we come out on top.
Last season had its high points around the turn of the year, the first months of Ole's time, but it obviously didn't go according to plan in the end. Has that sort of bred a sense of togetherness that this time round?
For me, it just showed that, you know, let's not forget that at Christmas, nobody expected us to be anywhere near the top four. So going from being in that position to the position we found ourselves in, and then just missing out on it, you know, it was tough, but looking back, I think it has definitely brought us together, and I think we just understand that we can't start the season how we started and we can't end it how we ended. That middle bit of the season was Manchester United, and that's how we have to aim to be every day.
Brilliant. And finally, then, what are the aims for this season, personally and collectively?
I think we just collectively, I think if we just concentrate on ourselves and keep improving as we have been, then we don't need to worry about other teams. You know, we're Man United, we just worry about ourselves, and we'll see where it brings us come the end of the season. And for me, I don't really like to, I don't put pressure on score this amount of goals, get that amount of assists. If I'm a believer in if the team gets the team goals, the individual things just come hand in hand with it. So yeah, it's just concentrate on the team and yourself as an individual.
Marcus Rashford, always good to hear from him, and again, he gets more mature with every year, every interview. He's only 21, but he's already packed so much into his very, very young career already.
Learning, Stuart. I think at that age you learn, as you get older, you should learn anyway, and it makes you a better player. And if you've got the pace to go with a football brain, my God, you're a handful. And he is at the moment.
Frank Lampard, remember, Chelsea's record goal scorer from midfield, his record goal scorer, 211 goals for Chelsea. A great threat, did a good job in 1 year at Derby, getting them to the playoff final, winning at Old Trafford. He's looking to do something similar today. In many ways, it's a bit of a free hit for Frank, because he can't bring players in. He can trust younger players. Fans are more happy with that, aren't they?
They're happy with the idea of younger players playing. And Chelsea have got a lot of good young players in actual fact. They do well at youth level. But you always do well here, Stuart, to a certain degree, Chelsea. But I'm going to harp on against you. Very important that we win this game, because that'll, well, be very decisive in how we finish this season.
Well, I spoke to Ole before the game, and even he said there are a few butterflies today, even though he's walked down that tunnel a million times. First day of the season.
Yeah, manager, Stuart, that's now you've got to worry about 11 people, whereas you used to worry about yourself.
It's going to be a fascinating season for both of these clubs. Mightily early for a summit meeting like this, isn't it? United, Chelsea, two Spanish goalkeepers. Kepa, Arrizabalaga. You're just going to say Kepa, Paddy, for today, but I might have to say Arrizabalaga, and David De Gea wearing the armband for United. So you can say Kepa.
Kepa's fine.
Yeah, you say Kepa. I'll say Arrizabalaga.
Well, the guy with the yellow jersey.
You could say that as well. All friends in the tunnel, and Harry Maguire, who's walked out that tunnel. For other clubs, it's mightily different doing it with Manchester United.
He'll be a bag of nerves walking onto that pitch at this moment, Steve. He's never done this before.
Here they come. Well, we've been waiting for a little while for this, haven't we? Nothing like Old Trafford on match day. Manchester United, Chelsea. David De Gea leading out Manchester United, as Piliqueta leading out Chelsea, and Harry Maguire, now he knows what it feels like to walk out of that tunnel with a red shirt on.
Well, that was always his dream, wasn't it? That was his dream.
And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who was superb in pre-season. Looking forward to seeing him. You get the impression he could be United's right back for a long
he's a
time.
top player, Stuart, no question about that. A top player.
And Ole getting wonderful support from all the way around Old Trafford. Done a great job in pre-season. And let's hope some of the form of pre-season is transplanted to the first game of the Premier League. Looking forward to this one. Manchester United against Chelsea. And of course, as you'd expect, both managers will be in the spotlight. Ole Solskjaer and Frank Lampard. So we're looking forward to it. United against Chelsea. We've got radio commentary on MUTV on the way with Ben Thornley and Tim Long as the Premier League gets underway at the Theatre of Dreams. Rashford, big chance, big goal.
This man is becoming a legend with a capital L.
United have liftoff here at Old Trafford.
It is a moment that all football supporters savour, a moment we wait an entire summer for, this time perhaps even more so. Defeat to Cardiff here was a long 91 days ago, and boy has so much happened since then for both of them.